Sometimes the most powerful stories don't come from famous people or best-selling authors. They could come from ordinary people who have lived through extraordinary challenges. These are people whose lives may look very different from ours, yet their strength and spirit can touch our hearts in the ways we never imagined before. One of those stories changed the way I see life, and it reminded me that even when everything seems impossible, hope and courage can open the door to something greater. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Husnun, and today I am honored to share with you the amazing story of Najin Mustafa, a young woman who showed that no dream in this world is too far and no obstacle is too heavy when you have the determination to keep going. Her life is a proof that even when the world seems dark, there's always a door of hope waiting to be opened, if only we have the courage to take the first step. Najin is known as the girl from Aleppo, and when she was just 16 years old, her home city in Syria was destroyed by the war. Her family and her was forced to leave everything behind: their house, their friends, and the life they once knew. They had to travel all the way from Syria to Germany to find safety and to begin a new life. That alone is so long and dangerous journey for anyone. But for Najin, it was so much harder because she was born with cerebral palsy, a condition which means she couldn't walk. So she made the entire journey in a wheelchair, through mountains, crowded borders, and dangerous roads. And just imagine what that must have felt like: the fear, the exhaustion, the uncertainty, not knowing what tomorrow would bring. Despite all of that, Najin never gave up. She kept smiling, and she kept believing that there was a better life waiting beyond the pain. Even when everything seemed impossible for her, she was always strong. And her story spread around the world, and people began to see her not as a victim, but as a symbol of hope and strength. She was later named BBC's 100 Most Inspiring Women. And she became a voice for courage and resilience in the face of suffering. Ladies and gentlemen, Najin's story teaches us something very powerful: that the biggest obstacles in life are not always the ones we see outside of us. Sometimes the hardest battles are the ones we fight within ourselves. There are moments when we feel tired, when we feel like giving up, or when the dreams seem too far away. But in those moments, we must remember what Najin shows us: that hope is like a light that never goes out. No matter how dark things become, it might flicker, yes, and it might grow dim, but it never disappears. Every one of us has our own journey, our own road, and it may filled with challenges and dreams. And maybe your path feels uncertain right now. Maybe you have faced failures, maybe you have faced disappointments or moments of doubt. But remember this: every great success story begins with someone who refused to quit. Every person who reached their goal was once stood where you are, unsure, afraid, and full of questions. But they chose to move forward anyway. And that is what turns ordinary people into the extraordinary ones. Success is not just about reaching the top or achieving your goals. It is about the journey, it is about the process, the lessons, the struggles, and the moments that shape who you are. And the truth is, every small step you take matters. Every time you try again after failing, every time you Raise up again. You are already winning. And you may not see the result right away, but with patience and faith, you will find your own door of hope and glory waiting for you to walk through it. So, as you move forward in your own life, I want you to hold on to courage. I want you to hold on to hope and do not let the fear stop you from dreaming. When life feels hard, please remember that there was always a rainbow after the storm. And you have everything inside you to achieve what you dream of. Let Nujin's story be a reminder for all of us that even in hardest moments, we can still find strength. Even when life feels unfair, we can still choose to hope. And the door of hope and glory is always there, waiting for you to open it with your courage, your heart, and your dreams. Thank you.